So, I'm not entirely sure what poo mode activated means. I'm looking at the voting guide here, and I'm not really being enlightened as to what poo mode activated means. Maybe it means that this person is just so potentially awful that that's just the default flair that they throw on here. I don't know. This is an 8-hour post. We'll see. Am I the asshole for ignoring my husband during our flight when he expressed anxiety over flying? Okay, I don't know. Who's going to be the asshole? We have to form our own opinions. I, 33 female, recently married my husband, 30 male, and we took a 3-hour flight to Mexico for our honeymoon. I fly a lot for my job, so I've racked up a lot of miles. My husband isn't a big fan of flying, though he has gotten better, and tends to just hold my hand and close his eyes during takeoff and landing, mostly okay when in the air. I'm the comfortable flyer in my relationship. My girlfriend gets motion sickness. And you got to be, you get the hand, you get the hand holding, the squeezing stuff, but normally is fine. She doesn't get like real sick or anything like that. But I just I don't feel anything when I'm on a plane, except for my ears getting all stuffy. That's about it. Maybe a little earache if my ears are particularly bad. But as far as like motion sickness, I don't even really get nervous during turbulence, which is crazy. It's almost like I want to die. When I booked our flights, I requested to use my points if an upgrade to business class became available, but made it clear I only wanted this upgrade if 2 seats became available, and then basically forgot about it. Then comes the day of our flight. I was so excited for this trip. I checked this in online. All is going well. And then when we go to board, the person scanning out boarding passes stops us. This is how you can tell my ADHD brain is already reading ahead. I mixed up boarding with passes. I do that all the time, by the way. Skip this song. It has words. It's going to distract me. Speaking of ADHD, she says it seems that my husband was upgraded to business class, but only him, and asks if that's okay. I immediately say no. We were on our honeymoon and would like to stay together. But then my husband jumps in and says, no, it's fine. I'll go to business class. I look at him in complete shock, and he tells me that I fly all the time and have been in business class before, but he hasn't, so he deserves a chance to experience it. He doesn't really get nervous on flights at all, does he? I don't know if he knows. Maybe he doesn't realize that business class is potentially just as bumpy. But who knows, man? I mean, I can't really tell, so I guess I can't really say. Maybe the back of the plane is worse when you're landing or lifting off. I have no clue. I see we're holding up the line, so I feel like I just need to agree with him and get on the plane. To say I'm pissed off is an understatement. He is all smiles, taking his seat, and I go back. Dude is weird. And this is for a honeymoon too? This is for a honeymoon, man. Y'all don't want to sit together on the flight to Mexico for your honeymoon? What is wrong with him? Oh, that's rough too. Like almost immediately out the gate. Just to be like, did I mess up here? Marrying this person? Oh my God. He smiles, taking his seat. They sit me next to an old woman with a baby on her lap, where my husband should be sitting. Within maybe 5 to 10 minutes of sitting there, trying to hold back tears because my husband left me alone on our flight during our honeymoon and uses my points for his upgrade, no less, he starts to text me saying he feels anxiety over flying. I ignore the text and stop looking at my phone. What a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. How are you going to text her saying you feel nervous about the flight when you went out of your way to sit far? Well, you didn't go out of your way, but like you agreed to sit very far away from the person that could potentially relieve some of that anxiety. This dude sucks. Within maybe an hour after we're in the air, he comes to the back of the plane to find me, offers me half of his business class breakfast, and asks me why I was ignoring him. That he was scared and needed me to tell him it'd be okay. So I'm such an experience. He's 30. This is a 30-year-old man. You need to tell me I'll be okay. This is a 30-year-old man that you married. Oh man, that really sucks for you. I'm glad that when I read this subreddit, it's not just like women being terrible, because the last story I read was about like a woman that cheated. There's other stories that are kind of like this where the woman does something similar. It's nice to get a nice flip. You can't be radicalized towards one side, because you realize that a lot of people from all kinds of different backgrounds suck dick. I told him maybe he should have thought about that before leaving me alone before our honeymoon even really began. He gets angry, tells me that this may be the only time he gets to fly business class. What? Business class is not that exciting. I don't know how to tell you this. Look, I don't know if you've seen business class. You can actually see it as you walk in. Well, maybe not all the time, but you can kind of look and you see it. You know what I mean? I feel like he's hyping it up a little bit too much. If he has anxiety, I don't know, whatever. Business class, and he was giving me half his breakfast to make up for it so I could at least be supportive of his genuine fear. I roll my eyes, sarcastically say thanks, and he goes back up to his seat. It's okay. Like, splitting it up when you're on your honeymoon, dude? What is wrong? And then you're going to come back and talk about how she needs to tell you it's okay? Like, you could have sat next to each other, but it's okay. You gave her half of your airplane breakfast. What the hell, dude? Wow. When we landed, I tried to just move on and forget about it so we could enjoy our honeymoon, but he guilt-tripped me about not comforting him via text. This dude doesn't suffer from genuine anxiety. There's no way. If you're afraid of flying, I don't think a text message is just going to make it, hey, don't worry, sweetie, the plane's not going to explode. Oh, thank God I read that text before we left. Oh my God. And this is the honeymoon trip. This is fucking rough, dude. This hurts. I'm wondering if I'm being unreasonable and should have just let him enjoy his time in business class and ensure him it'd be okay. So am I the asshole? I mean, I wouldn't say that you're being unreasonable. I would say that some people, myself included, can put things on like the back burner and not get, like, I could easily not get worked up in this situation, but it doesn't make me think that he's less of an asshole, you know? Info, did you get stuck in middle seat in economy? If so, we ride at dawn. I agree. Thank God, no, aisle seat. Whew, aisle seat, that's my favorite. I don't understand why people like window seats. Aisle seat, you get to spread. We've flown together 3 times in the past, Florida, Vegas, and Europe, and made a deal to alternate if one of us had a middle seat. I think the flight was overbooked and they just gave a random person in the middle seat an upgrade to business so they could fit more people in economy. That grandma could have been watching your kid on that seat. Well, then I'm putting my pitchfork away, but still side-eyeing your husband. I mean, I'm still down to pitch. My pitchfork is still out. Your husband is weird. This is a 30-year-old man. You need to text me to make me feel comfortable. You need to text me to me. It's just such strange behavior here. This is going to be a cool one to read the controversial comments. Your husband made a really questionable decision, and he was essentially having to live with the consequence of the decision. He jumped for the chance to sit alone in biz class, and I guess it didn't occur to him how evidently very reliant he is on you during flying. Insane. Regardless of his phobia, he's a grown man. True, he is a 30-year-old man. Let's see. Let's get to the fun part. I wonder if poo mode activated just means that like 99% are saying that you're not the asshole. I don't know. Everyone sucks here. Maybe slightly you're the asshole. All the not the asshole votes shock me, to be honest. Both people in the story are selfish. The OP incredibly so. Read OP's post again. It's all about her. Her points. Her seat. Her. Fuck off. It's a 30-year-old man that immediately jumped into getting like it's crazy that I mean, he does say both people in the story seem selfish, but it seems wild to me that you would just kind of focus on the fact that she says her. They are her points though. She doesn't care about her husband at all. She does. It seems like the husband doesn't care about her though. And both have contempt for the other. You're on your honeymoon and you're sarcastically responding and eye-rolling at your new spouse. Why the heck did you even get married in the first place? You're on your honeymoon, and instead of sitting with your wife on the flight there, you chose business class and then immediately started complaining about the fact that you don't get to sit next to your wife. My thing is the things that potentially make her the asshole in this story could have easily been prevented if he wasn't an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Very easily could have been prevented. OP has flown many times, knows her husband is a nervous flyer, which is why she is probably very confused when he chose to sit in business class alone without her, the person that makes him comfortable flying. Jesus Christ. He has been in business class or has been in business class before and her husband hasn't. And instead of just saying, this would be a nice thing I can do for my husband, it's me, mine. I mean, it kind of sounds like he's also selfish because he's sitting with himself. That's Reddit for you. The husband does something, and the default answer by the Reddit hive mind is that he's the worst human in existence. Not really. I just read a story about this wife that cheated, and it was pretty much universally agreed that she sucked. Just saying. I like literally the video that I recorded before this was about a wife that cheated and was getting mad because she couldn't get the amount of child support that she wanted. And it was pretty much universally agreed that the husband was not the asshole here. There were some people that were like, oh, the husband's the asshole, but they were rightfully clowned on. She didn't communicate at all. She's just so, I got it. I'm sorry, man. Can you get an annulment? Marriage was doomed. Everyone sucks here. I'm having a really hard time judging this one because I understand how you feel. It was a bit selfish of him to take the upgrade and you resented not getting one too. You didn't want to ride alone on a honeymoon. You are less at fault than him for sure. On the other hand, considering his anxiety, letting him have something that made him feel good about the flight and still giving him this. What is this idea that if you get into business class, it somehow means that somebody with flying anxiety is just going to be less anxious? If that plane crashes into the side of a mountain, the guy closer to the front of the plane is going to die first. Unless planes start flying backwards. Ultimately, neither of you did a good job. I'm at least willing to take an everyone sucks here. Not really, though. I still hate the husband and his bitch ass. Not the asshole. Me thinks there's a bit of miscommunication. I get it, it's annoying. However, 3-hour flight, if he needed OP to comfort him due to his anxiety, he never should have separated from her. Annulments are a thing. You're the asshole. Oh, let's see. It's your honeymoon flight, yes, but honestly, the flight is only a short part of what the honeymoon really is about, not to him. It sucks that he used your points for his upgrade, but at the very same time, he tried to bravely face his flying anxiety alone. Wow, what a brave guy. Get the fuck out of here. He tried to bravely face it alone. That's the whole reason he did that. He decided he would take the business class seat solely because he wanted to brave it alone. No, he wanted the business class seat and breakfast. Get the fuck out of here. Instead of backing your husband and facing his fears, you ignore him when he opens up and comes literally crawling back to you looking for support. But he can't be that anxious. He got up out of his seat when the plane was up in the air, I guess. You have a right to be disappointed. Do not act surprised if the next time he has something of an emotional value to him, he hasn't opened it up to you. Oh my fucking God. Y'all need to get divorced. Don't be surprised if he doesn't voice his concern to you in the future. Be happy that he let you know that he's a big fucking baby immediately out the gate. Freshly married and the whole thing about to have and hold from this day forward. Oh my, shut up. I don't think he was trying to face his fear by sitting alone in business class. I think he was just excited by the opportunity and even tossed aside Opie's desire to sit together by saying it's fine. This is minor. This is so minor. Together for 17? Both of you are wrong. Have an open, calm discussion. I mean, I am being harsh. I do think that some of these people could make a good point. I still, definitively think he's more of an asshole than her. Anyways, what was the top comment? How many upvotes did it have? That's how I decide whether or not I'm correct or not. It's definitive. If so, we write it down. Not the asshole. 8.5k likes. I don't know what to tell you. It looks like it's kind of looking like my opinion is correct. Reddit agrees with me, guys. My husband left me alone on our flight during our honeymoon. Yeah, not a good look for the guy here. That he was scared, needed me to tell him to go. My willingness to give a shit about his phobia anxiety ended the second he chose an upgraded seat over his newlywed wife. He guilt tripped me. Selfish and doesn't know how to read the room. Not the asshole. I mean, I think it's definitive. He's weird. He's 30, and it's amazing how many times I read these stories of people that are older than me who act like they're in high school. This happened the other day when I read that story, and one person was 40 and the other person was 39 or something, or 29. I don't know. It was like a 30-year-old and a 40-year-old, and neither of them knew how to cook anything. And it's like, how are these people that are older than me having issues with regular life adult shit? What do you mean you can't make mac and cheese? Like Kraft mac and cheese? What do you mean you can't make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? What do you mean you have to go grumpy and say, you need to make me feel better by sending me a text message saying me that I won't die on the flight? I mean, I get it if you're uncomfortable, but you kind of negate the fact that you have anxiety by being like, yeah, I'll fly alone. The wife that I hold tends to just hold my hand and close his eyes during takeoff and landing. mostly okay when in the air. The fact that he's at this point where he needs to hold your hand and close his eyes during takeoff and landing, but he very quickly is like, yeah, I'll sit alone though. Whose hand is he going to hold? The person next to him? The flight attendants? I doubt it. He sucks. Suck it.